Welcome to Trust Power Bay Park Arena in the beautiful Tauranga for our second boys under 15 semi-final at Aon Nationals. My name is Josh Davis and we've got probably the game of the tournament on hand for us. Coming up in 3 minutes time we have Waikato and Tauranga, the two favourites. Most people are saying this is the de facto final. We shall see how that pans out, but we have a really awesome game on hand for us tonight. The winner of this game will go on to play Waikato C, the Cinderella underdogs who have made their way to the final. I can't recall a B team ever making a national final, let alone a C team, and we have the opportunity to have an all Waikato final for us tomorrow. So those are the stakes at play for Waikato. Tauranga will have a massive home crowd advantage as well, as they have all their friends and whānau checking in and supporting them in this game. So we have probably the two most informed teams so far this tournament, both undefeated, both winning most of their games by big margins, although Waikato were pushed last night by a Lindsay Tate coached Auckland team, but they seem to have had control of that game for most of the second half. So we've just got our team lists coming up in a second, just to see who we have. So for Tauranga we have Manahera Gardner, Isaac Morgan, Ian Pugh, Kaya Berridge, Darwin Marinus, Noah Martin, Cameo Wagner, Oliver Taylor, Seth Winnie, Landon Monks, Falma Kupita and Hohepa Chandler. And they are ably coached by T-Web, Tony Webster, assisted by Mel Bennett. And sorry for that, we're just getting the correct roster. We just brought up Waikato C there inadvertently. Here it is, Waikato A. They have Elias Lepo, Cash Farmer, Usher Robson, John Anderson, Kalis Paul, Potoko, Alamine Wanoa, Nicholas Hayward, Iatia Tiokotai, Tukarehe Jeffries, Dima Stevens, David Pereira, and Desmond Fa'alupanga. A lot of, this is a very, very talented team for Waikato A here. A lot of players who were a part of the under-15 team last year. And they are athletic, they are skilled, they are quick. It's going to be a great matchup as we get tipped off. And it'll be Cash Farmer, number 5, to start proceedings. Fakes the dribble handoff. And looks to go to work. Lots of packed-in defense from Tauranga. And we have our first 3 of the game, and that's the key to under-15s basketball. If you can create space with outside shooting, then it just opens up the lanes for driving and cutting and all that kind of stuff. If you can't hit your outside shots, then it's going to be a long night because you're going to be driving 1-on-4, 1-on-5, and so that's a great start for them. And conversely, on the other end, we see Tauranga unable to hit their first 3-point attempt of the evening. And again, we see a bit of zone half-court pressure. And now Waikato look to get set up into a half-court set. And they try and isolate Usher Robson, who's a really talented player, on Ian Pugh, the point guard for Tauranga. That seems to be a matchup that they think favours them. In their previous meeting, Waikato were the victors in qualifying Tauranga managed to hang in there for most of the game, but according to a couple of the people I spoke to who were at the game, Waikato were always in the ascendancy, and they managed to pull out the win and get the top seed. And Cash Farmer can't quite get that shot to go. Nice little up fake and step through. Couldn't quite get the shot to drop. And again, it'll be interesting to see what kind of pressure Waikato are set up in here. It looks to be a bit of zonal pressure again. Two at the top looking to create traps, but Tauranga handled that nicely. But again, seemed to have been adjudicated out of bounds by Raponce, who celebrated his 16th birthday yesterday. Happy birthday to Raponce. He's a beloved figure around harbour basketball. As, again, Waikato showing off their athleticism around the hoop. Tauranga really struggling to get any clean looks inside at the moment. And again, can't get the long range attempt to drop, but those second chance points will come in handy. Shot clock winding down. What can they create? They get force another three, just rims out. Waikato have to do a better job boxing out. They finally managed to secure a defensive rebound, and they look to push. And their guards are so dangerous off the dribble. You really need to be in a stance to contain the ball, and Desmond Fa'alopainga shows his talent as a centre to step out and hit that mid-range jump shot. And again, causing Tauranga a bit of pressure with that zonal pressure. Nice little crossover there from Lennon Monks. He gets to the paint and manages to draw the foul on number 7, John Anderson. It was a skillful left-handed shooter from the game I saw this afternoon against Canterbury. And we have our first points of the game for Tauranga. Landon Monks. And he knocks down both. Now can Tauranga get set up in a bit of a half-court trap here. A staple Tony Webster formation, and they manage to get the turnover, and away they run in transition. Tauranga are going to need to be able to convert those. Noah Martin, it's a long, rangy athlete, couldn't quite get that to drop. Kalis Potoko, who actually played for Tauranga Intermediate at Ames last year, was a standout player for them after transferring down from Tokoroa Intermediate. So this will be an interesting game for him, playing against some of his former teammates, I'm sure. And Tauranga do a good job of boxing out there. Waikato didn't send too many people to the boards. And a nice, simple defensive rebound as Cash loses his mouth guard. 5-second rule on that. Go pick that up after the play stops. And again, they're trapping in the corners nice and aggressively. Ian Pugh for three. Can't get that to drop. And Waikato push again in transition. Again, with these teams, they have a lot of athleticism and skill and speed. You'd hope that the tempo keeps getting pushed, because they both have the ability to play an attractive style of basketball. And Desmond again shows off the range, can't quite get that to drop. Landon Monks again on the defensive rebound. Nice little drop-off pass. That is for Seth Winnie. And again, they get up in that half-court trap. Usher finds Desmond inside. Nice find. He's a classy player. Usher Robson has great control of the game as a 1 or a 2 guard. And he finds his big man nice and easily, shall I say. A quick little mid-range jump shot in transition there early in the shot clock. Relatively early in the shot clock, shall I say. There was only 12 seconds left. And we get our first substitutions of the game. Elias Lepo and Iotia Tiokotai played for Tokoroa Intermediate at Ames last year. Elias Lepo played for Koromātua, I believe. But yeah, that's a lot of talent to be bringing off your bench. They're both very accomplished young players, and that'll be key for Waikato A here. Nice little duck in from number 14. Can't quite get the shot to fall. Kupita. Nice little play there from Tony Webster. And number 6, Kaya Berridge, has checked into the game. Played Tauranga Intermediate at Ames last year, and obviously Kupita has just checked in and has drawn that foul. Can't get the first free throw to drop. But for Tauranga to hang in this game, they're going to need to take advantage of the free throw line. Waikato like to jump. They like to hunt blocks and jump on pump fakes, and you need to be able to take advantage of that, have good footwork, draw fouls, and then convert at the free throw line. A bit of a push off from Desmond, but gets it to go. They're just so talented across the board, Waikato A. And a great steal from behind from Tiokotai. And Waikato A getting out to a decent lead to start off with. Tony Webster might be thinking about a timeout. Another turnover. Not to say that Tauranga haven't been a really strong team this tournament as well. They've won all their games by very comfortable margins. They beat Manawatu in their quarterfinal by 30 or 40 points this afternoon. But just looking at them and some of the names and both on Waikato A, they are a daunting team to think about defending. Tiokotai for 3, can't get that to go. And maybe Tauranga need to take advantage of transition opportunities here. It's another big key factor in under 15s basketball. Can you push the ball and score in transition before the other defense gets set up and packs the paint in the key? It's very difficult to score once defenses get set in this age group, and turnovers like that are not going to help their case. And Waikato A are out to a 11-5 lead, and they are looking dangerous. They look like they have another big run in them as well. That's the scary thing about them. But again, Tauranga looking to trap. Usher's too classy to turn it over there, and straight away Elias Lepo off the bench with the Rafael Nadal headband. Shows great composure to finish that layup over the top of the big for Tauranga. And a nice little floater from Ian Pugh against a really packed in defense there. He did a great job of finishing over the top. And Usher's not going to turn the ball over there. He's a classy player. Great composure, great handle, sees the court, puts himself in an on-ball situation, looks for the tough floater, can't get that to go. And another foul there. I believe that was Landon Monks getting to the rim again, so he's shown he has the ability to attack off the dribble and get into the paint. He'll need to be really aggressive to keep collapsing this Waikato A defense, and that's where they need to start really converting, is from the free throw line. Take advantage of those situations. Again, just 1 for 2 from the free throw line. 13-8 to Waikato A. Just less than 4 minutes to go. And again, Tauranga looking to trap in the half court. Waikato not really having many problems with that. No foul call, lots of contact there. They're just so tough and so skilled finishing through contact, Waikato A. And turnovers like that are not going to aid the case. Kalis hasn't even really got going yet. He's a very dangerous player, also a talented rugby player. I believe he's on a rugby scholarship at Hamilton Boys High. He's a very accomplished player. My under-15 team played his Waikato country team at Nationals last year, and he was a big problem for us as a bottom major. And now Tauranga, again, look to get out in transition. If they can keep getting those transition opportunities before the defense gets set, that's a really good way of generating points for them. Tough drive from Tia Kotai. They've just got so many weapons across the board. He's come off the bench, got into the paint. Elias Lepo's come in off the bench, got into the paint. You just feel that the overall depth of Waikato A is going to be a bit too much, and if that were to be the case, obviously very early days so far, they would be matched up against Waikato C, who have made a really Cinderella run to the final. They knocked off Waitakere in the earlier semi-final, and what ended up being a rather close game. They are a team of bottom majors, so under 14 players who were under 13s last year, and I played my Harbour under 13 team played them last year, and they were a very dominant team. And although it is quite surprising that they've managed to make it all the way to the final, in some ways it's not surprising. Lots of talent, lots of size, lots of speed, and you know, again, that would be an unprecedented matchup if Waikato were able to have an all Waikato final. But again, long way to go for that yet. I'm sure Tauranga will have a lot to say about that as Tony Webster looks to call his first timeout of the game, with Waikato in the ascendancy, but not out of range by any means just yet. For Tauranga, it's probably, for Waikato, it's, can you keep applying the pressure? Can you keep generating turnovers? Can you keep exploiting mismatches defensively with all the different players who have the ability to drive, kick, and sort of get to the paint for shots, or get to the paint for passes to their teammates? Can you keep that up? Can you keep applying pressure and generating turnovers? And for Tauranga, it's about looking after the ball and continuing to create really good shots and not getting too caught up in sort of runs that Waikato are going on. And I think potentially an adjustment they could make is just really try and force Waikato A to shoot from the perimeter. All their points bar a mid-range jump shot, I believe, have been in the paint. So maybe you can pack the paint in a little bit more, sag off people you believe to be not great shooters, and see if that's a way that you can clog up the paint and force Waikato into shots that they don't want to take. And straight away off the timeout, they turn the ball over, and Cash can't quite get the left-hand finish to go. I believe he's from Tauranga, but he is at St. Peter's, Cambridge, on a rugby scholarship. So it'll be a bitter pill to swallow for Tauranga, seeing how well he's been playing this tournament and how effective he's managed to be. But you can see Waikato have committed their 5th foul, and that allows Tauranga to go to the free throw line every single time they are fouled from here on out. And so that's a way that Tauranga can hang around in the game here. It is Cameo Wagner going to the line. I believe he's just checked into the game. Calmly knocks down the second free throw, and the score is 19-13 to Waikato A. And again, they handle that half-court trap pretty easily. Great dump-off pass, but David Pereira can't quite get the shot to drop. And for as good as Waikato A have looked, Tauranga have a chance here to close out the last minute and 7 seconds of this quarter. Still well within range of Waikato A. Great dive to the rim there from Noah Martin. Great dump off from Oliver Taylor. Or has there been a violation call, I believe? Maybe he stepped out of bounds. My mistake. That'll be very frustrating for Coach T. Webb as Kalis makes a really athletic drive to the rim. And Tauranga handled the pressure pretty comfortably this time. And they get a back screen for number 14, Kapita, and he takes a shot to the face. And he will go to the line to shoot 2 as they're in the bonus. And he can't get the first one to drop. Free throws, missed free throws are the coach killer, especially at this level when there's lots of fouling going on, lots of raw athleticism. Still learning the intricacies of the game. It's really important to be able to convert your free throws. Great kick out from Elias Lepo off the O-board, and Cash can't quite get it to drop. But again, another offensive rebound. And 10 seconds left in the quarter. And Kai Berridge looks to push. Oh, and he turns it over. And I think we're going to say that's the end of the quarter. So we have, after one, we have Waikato A 21, Tauranga 13. And welcome back to our second Aon Nationals Under 15 boys semi-final. We have Waikato A looking to meet up with this C team in the final. It will be the first time a region has ever played amongst itself in a national final, as far as I'm aware. If I'm erroneous in that statement, please feel free to sound off and harass me in the comments on the Facebook live stream. But as far as I'm aware, that would be unprecedented as Elias Lepo comes off the dribble handoff. And the catch and shoot three from Tia Kotai can't get it to go. Tauranga need more stops like that. And again, very packed paint inside, and number 12, Seth Winnie, gets called for the offensive foul. It's really hard to create good shots when the defense is packed in like that if you can't hit your outside shots. And again, Tauranga looks to get into that half-court trap. Cash has no problem with that. And Tia Kotai is called for the travel. So they've got a couple of stops here, Tauranga. They just need to figure out a way to put the ball in the hoop. That is their main problem at this point. Putting the ball in the hoop, pretty handy, pretty helpful. It's just my advice. And again, very packed in paint. It had to be a foul, not called, or a travel. Either way, Waikato have the ball. Kalis again makes an aggressive drive and can't get that to go. Good defense from Tauranga. And Tauranga look to get into some half-court offense. But again, the paint is very packed and Ian Pugh cannot create a good shot. Or can't get the shot to go. That may be a shot that's within his range. So that may be a perfectly fine shot, but he can't quite get that to drop. And again, Elias Lepo comes off the dribble handoff and on-ball screen. Another open three from Tia Kotai, and he knocks it down. Bang, word to Morgan Maskell. And I believe that's Tauranga ball. Just having a really hard time getting into the paint and getting into a paint that has space in it. When they are getting into the paint, it's 4 defenders collapsing. And one for Noah Martin. They needed that. I think he seems like a really dangerous, long and athletic, skilled player. He needs to be one of the people, along with Landon Monks, looking to really be aggressive, getting into the paint and creating good shots. And he finishes off the M1 with the free throw and cuts the lead to 8 points. Cuts the deficit to 8 points, shall I say. Now it's about getting more stops for Tauranga. Again, a lot of the Tauranga players have been on the court for the whole game today. A great kick ahead pass, and Elias Lepo went up for the athletic block, but they've called, it's been adjudicated to be a foul. It's a great athletic attempt from the wee shooting guard. He seems to have enough swag to pull off the headband. I was dubious before we started, but I have deemed him officially swaggy enough for the headband. That's official. That cannot be revoked. Oh, and almost another turnover inside. Great drop-off pass from Lepo. And Desmond Fa'alupenga gets the layup to go. Great job diving to the rim from the big fella. And another turnover for Tauranga. Cash will bring the ball up, kicks it ahead to Usher. Can't get the mid-range jump shot to fall, but it's John Anderson, the lefty at the other end, who gets O-board to drop. They've just got so many weapons, Waikato A, and number 15, Hohepa Chandler. Not sure if that's his shot. A developing shooting form. Maybe that's the shot. I haven't seen enough of him to comment on that, but couldn't quite get that one to drop. And Tia Kotai left wide open again. That seems to be dangerous. He seems to be able to shoot the basketball. And may want to pay some attention to him defensively. Again, Ian Pugh, I think he's been on the court the whole game so far. And a very packed paint, not great spacing from Tauranga. Ian Pugh bangs that three home and keeps them within distance of Waikato, on a turnover from Hohepa Chandler, and he misses the layup. Tony Webster says to his assistant Mal Bennett, "Are you kidding me?" With just as clean language as I used. Coaching's fun. Ooh, and Usher airballs the floater. And Tauranga managed to break the pressure. MPU with the floater, can't get it to drop. And Elias Lepo with the defensive rebound. Not sure if that was an ankle breaker, but again, furthering his case to be swaggy enough for the headband. And John Anderson drives to the rim. Might have been a bit of contact there, but Waikato will retain the ball. As both teams look to make some substitutions. A lot of frustrated boys on the Tauranga bench. They're finding it really hard to create good shots, open shots, and space down the other end of the court. It's frustrating to play against. And Tia Kotai, too easy off the baseline, out of bounds play. Almost a travel there. A great spin move. And good pack defense from Waikato, forcing Tauranga into taking tough shots. And a foul is called on Kupita. And seems to have fallen over of his own volition there. And down the other end, Kupita gets the layup to drop. Brings the deficit back to 9. And open shot for Potoko. He's shown off the ability to get to the paint whenever he wants to, and now he's shown off the three-point shot, and now he's shown off the defense. What a finish. And that will cause Tony Webster to call his second timeout of the half. That is a bit of a clinic from Kalis Potoko. He is showing off how versatile his game is. The three-point shot, the defense, the steal, the layup, the athleticism. He's a really impressive player. And for T-Web in this timeout, you're thinking about cutting down on the turnovers. You're thinking about different ways to create space in the key. It's very, very packed in right now. Waikato appear to have scouted Tauranga pretty thoroughly and believe that Tauranga aren't able to consistently knock down perimeter jump shots. And Tauranga have not been able to prove them wrong as of yet. On the Waikato side, you are probably thinking about putting your foot on the throat here. You can probably get rid of Tauranga nice and early in this game within this half. If you can go on another run, if you can stretch this out by another 10 points, if you can get this over 20 by halftime, you can go pretty close to putting Tauranga away. So the mentality for them, if they want to be champions of this tournament, this is a great opportunity for them to show that sort of championship mentality and put Tauranga away. But I don't think Tauranga will go away too quietly. Let's see what T-Web's drawn out of the timeout. Kupita can't get the jump shot to drop, but Kai Berridge does a great job on the offensive end of securing a jump ball. Possession Tauranga. Let's see if Tauranga can create some good shots late in the shot clock here. That might be their best bet, but met at the rim by David Pereira. Good defense there. Great job diving on the loose ball from Landon Monks. He's been one of the more impressive players for Tauranga. Great job of keeping his chest in front of Usher Robson and forcing the turnover. But again, Kai Berridge looks to have rolled his ankle, and that's led to the turnover. And they will stop the game. That's a shame. Looks to have really hurt his ankle on that play. It's just kind of unfortunate, really. That led straight to a turnover and a layup just because he twisted his ankle. Not really what Tauranga needed at that point, just plain dumb luck. And a risky pass over the top there. Ian Pugh manages to come up with it. Great little spin dribble to avoid the pressure. Might have been some contact. And a really tough finish from Oliver Taylor. Now it's really about getting some stops here. Or they seem to be more focused on generating turnovers, although their zone sort of half-court trap may be a bit more geared towards just getting Waikato to use shot clock. Again, Waikato are just so long and athletic. Even the simplest, the kick ahead passes are getting tipped at the moment. Then a little cross screen for Kopita. Look for a seal inside against Kalis, but Kalis, nice and strong, forces him out of the paint. And that'll be a foul, probably on John Anderson, I'd say, from the back. No, they've caught on Kalis. Good job from Kopita being aggressive, getting to the paint. Taking advantage of getting the defense on his back. And that's what you want to do when you're driving to the hoop. You want to get the defense on your hip, on your side. You want to ideally get them on your back so that if there's any contact, they're going to be called for the foul and you get yourself to the free throw line. So you did a really good job of that. And they managed to get another stop here, Tauranga. Really need to try and take advantage of transition opportunities because, again, the paint is so packed. When it's half-court situations, really struggling to get any open shots. And again, Waikato look to use that to their advantage on the other end. Good little take in transition from number 14, David Pereira, who's made a nice contribution since he's been on. Again, tough shots inside. They managed to get that one to drop. Again, nothing easy. And Kalis senses a matchup. Great kick out pass to Cash. Another great kick out to Kalis. Can't get that one to drop, but great job using the drive kicks and relocating to open space behind the three-point line. Oh, great drive there from Tiakota. Can't get it to drop with the left hand, and it will be Tauranga ball, I believe. Number 11, Oliver Taylor, also sporting a headband. His seems to be more fit for purpose. He's got a flowing mane of locks. Looks like an Australian basketball player. Oh, and a great and-one drive from Ian Pugh. The wee fella amongst the trees. Getting back to the more important matter of Oliver Taylor's headband. Won't deem that swaggy just yet. It's more of a practicality than a fashion statement. But we'll see if he keeps contributing like he has. We will upgrade that to a swaggy headband. That might have been backcourt there. And turnover from Kalis, and there's still life for Tauranga, down 11. Love a score and a stop and a score. They turn the ball over instantly, and Kubalik. John Anderson with the great steal and the score. Tauranga have to stay solid here. They can't keep turning the ball over in this situation. They need to be within, you'd think, 13, 15 points would be the biggest you'd want to let the score get to. What can Ian Pugh generate here? Oh, great crossover and the step back, but Usher manages to get back in front and contest the shot and then leak out in transition. And that is a 15-point game. Ian Pugh, what can he get? 3 at the buzzer. Can't get it to go. And at halftime of our second Aon Nationals under 15 boys semi-final, we have Waikato A up 45-30. And welcome back to Trust Power Bay Park Arena in Tauranga, where we are 1 minute away from resuming our second boys national semi-final at under 15 Aon Nationals. Waikato A, they are 20 minutes away from securing an unprecedented all Waikato final, as the Waikato C team has already confirmed their spot in the final, and Waikato A with a 15-point lead. They have looked much the better team in this game so far. If they can stay the course here, then they are well on their way to having a great chance at winning a national title tomorrow in our final. For Tauranga, it's a gut check time for them. Season on the line, last 20 minutes of their season, or last 20 minutes of having hope for winning nationals, something they've worked hard towards all year. Probably since January, 2 trainings a week, lots of work together, lots of time together, and your season comes down to this. What can you conjure up in these kind of situations? A lot of backwashing Raponsa's drink bottle there. Sorry, I've distracted myself. What can Tauranga show us here? They've been in a half-court trap all game. Can they maybe settle into a man and just generate stops? We shall see. And early we get a post up for Desmond. He is big, he is strong. Got to box out John Anderson. Got to be able to box out. Can't keep giving up those O-boards. And Cash. Not Cash on that attempt. Kalis with the athletic drop-off pass to Usher. They just have so many weapons. And Tauranga managed to navigate the pressure reasonably well, barging into traffic. Floater from Landon Monks, he's been very impressive so far, and you can't give that up. That's too easy in transition. Great kick ahead pass, but you gotta match up. You can't turn the ball over like that. Couldn't have started much worse here for Tauranga. Lots of pressure on EMP. He manages to handle it well. He's got some good composure, that player. He's got a good future. He's still has a lot of physical developing to do. So really awesome that he can hang at this in what's a really athletic and quick game. Again, we already see Waikato A leap out to a 19-point lead, and Cash looks to redeem himself. I may have to go back to using his full name, Cassius, if he can't prove that his jump shot is in fact Cash. Just took a momentary moment of silence to commemorate how bad that joke was. No more puns, I promise. Ian Pugh can't get the jump shot to drop. And great tough finish inside from Hoipa Chandler. Coach Jeff Niwa of Waikato wanted an offensive foul called. What has happened there? Desmond Fa'alupinga has gone into a lot of traffic there. Looks like there's a bit of contact, but we've adjudicated a Waikato A ball. And John Anderson can't get that to drop. An athletic rebound from Noah Martin. Again, he needs to really assert himself. Great passing and transition. And they cut the lead to 15. They need more of that. Transition opportunities are where they can look to get shots in space. Shots in space is the big differentiator now. How many shots in space can you create? Kalis, catch and shoot, in and out. Can't get that to drop, and that looked like an offensive foul on the rebound, and the kick ahead pass to Noah Martin just flies over his head. It was lovely to get a wee wave from the North Harbour under-15 team in the background. Liam Campbell-Mafu manages to annoy me even when he's 50 meters away from me. It's a special ability. And Usher can't get the shot to drop. They need to come up with those offensive rebounds. Cassius Farmer's really imposed himself on the offensive glass so far. He isn't the biggest fella, he's a guard, point guard, shooting guard, and he's still managing to come up with a lot of offensive rebounds. It's not just on the bigs for Tauranga to come up with the D boards and box out, it's on everyone, especially when you have guards with that offensive rebounding ability. Usher can't get that to drop. 16-point lead. Ian Pugh looks to, he's quite quick, looks to create off the dribble. Finds Noah Martin. Nice little dump off pass by Ian Pugh off the on ball, and Jorge Chandler manages to score off the offensive rebound, and Coach T-Webb has got the clapping hands back. He's feeling it. He's feeling positive. And again, Tauranga packing the paint in. They might force Waikato to make jump shots here. Sean Anderson can't get that one to drop, and that seems like it may be a strategy that has some merit to it. Tauranga need to get the ball over half court without turning it over, and they can't do it, and that's just not going to cut it. And a foul from behind by Noah Martin. Or was it on Jorge Chandler? I think it was on Jorge Chandler. Tauranga can't come up with a defensive rebound. They get off lucky there. Again, Ian Pugh looks to push it in transition. If he can just keep being aggressive off the dribble, getting into the gaps and creating for people, that's, especially in transition before the D set, that can be a really good thing for Tauranga. And just a simple turnover. And Usher finishes through the contact. That's where he's at his best and creates the turnover. Can't get the floater to drop. Offensive rebound from Tiakotai. And they look to get a half-court set. And Cassius cannot get that one to drop. And Waikato seem to have some sort of issue with the shot clock. Tauranga Basketball have done an awesome job running this event. They've had a lot of volunteers from within their community doing score benches and heaps of work behind the scenes. It's been a really awesome, well-run event from what I've seen since I've been down here. And they should be really proud of the event and the tournament they've put on. And we Tauranga ball underneath the hoop there with 5 seconds on the shot clock. What kind of shot can they generate in such a limited amount of time on the shot clock? Might have been a travel there. Noah Martin can't get that to drop. That was a foul. Great offensive rebound from Seth Winnie. Those are ways that they can stay in the game. If they can keep crashing the O boards really hard and generating second chance points and extra possessions, that is the way of keeping them in the game. Again, free throw doesn't drop. So our scoring leaders thus far for Waikato, Kalis Paul Portoko, he is on 16 points, with Usher Robson on 11, and for Tauranga it's Ian Pugh and Landon Monks who are carrying the brunt of the scoring load. Landon Monks is 7, Ian Pugh is 10 points. A great drive from Elias Lepo, great footwork, great drop-off pass. Thoroughly deserving of wearing that headband. Great footwork on the drive there. Of course, son of Mason Lepo, former NBL player for the Waikato Pistons, and his older brother is Kainoa Lepo, who's been a New Zealand rep through the age groups, won a national title with Rosmini last year and is currently serving his Mormon mission. And great little push and transition there. And they can't quite get it to drop. Seth Winnie couldn't get that one to go, and Waikato down the other end, too dangerous. And they're in a scary wee spot here, Tauranga. Well, that's, oh, and you've got to finish that. They're just not going to win if they can't get that kind of shot to drop. Great athletic drop-off pass from Kalis. And T-Webb, Tony Webster trying to call a timeout. And they finally get it, and the margin's back out to 22, and Tauranga are in real trouble. And so this is a really crucial timeout here for Tauranga. It may just be maybe a tactical timeout. It may just be, hey, let's stay in this. We're okay. Here are the little things that we need to do. We need to keep our attitude up. We need to stop turning the ball over. We need to get back in transition. You want to, as a coach, try and keep it nice and calm. You don't want to panic your team or scare your team. You want to try and keep them on a good, even keel. And that's the challenge for Tony Webster. And the other timeout for Jeff Niwa, it will be more of the same. Keep doing the basketball good, fellas, will be the instruction. Keep running, keep driving. You are the better, more athletic team, and keep showing that. That'll be the message in Coach Jeff Niwa's timeout. And now Tauranga, last couple of timeouts, they've had an immediate turnover, and this time they managed to get a good shot that they just can't get to drop, and they're not going to win the game if they can't get those shots to drop. Kalis with a great drive and drop off, can't. Number 14, David Pereira, can't get his hands on it, and Landon Monks looks to create off the dribble against Elias Lepo. Great drop-off pass, and they finally get one to drop. Seth Winnie, nice left-hand finish, gets it to 20. And great drop-off pass, great drive. Can't quite get the shot to drop, but another foul. Nice looking shot form for David Pereira, can't quite get that to drop. Second one drops for David Pereira, 62-41 to Waikato A. And Kai Berridge back in the game after twisting his ankle in the first half. And a good open shot, catch and shoot. Opportunity, can't get it to go. Tony Webster maybe would have preferred another kind of shot. And again, Swaggy behind the back. Oh, great drop off. Headband worthy stuff right there. You can wear 2 headbands. I'll be fine with it. And when you have that kind of talent coming off your bench, it's really hard to compete. They probably have, Waikato probably have 3 or 4 players who could start for Tauranga. And the catch and shoot 3 goes down for Landon Monks, who's been pretty impressive thus far as he cuts the lead down to 20. But again, Waikato A look to be in the ascendancy and in control of the game here. A tough finish, need to get that D-board, and they do. Kaya looks to push it, long pass. And Landon Monks. They can't get a shot to drop. Tony Webster imploring the referee for a foul call. Oh, great job from Landon Monks trying to dive on the loose ball. He is not quit at all. And Tia Kotai for 3. Dare I say it, bang. And it's a 23-point lead to Waikato A, and it's another turnover from Tauranga. And I have to think Tauranga on the verge of breaking here. Waikato could put the game away in the next minute here. 23-point lead, 1 minute to go in the quarter. Elias Lepo is a shooter. Dagger. He has made a massive impact off the bench. And a good finish from Seth Winnie down the other end. May have prematurely called dagger there. I love an early dagger call though. I think I'm pretty confident in that one. And Seth Winnie can't get the free throw to drop. And a jump ball has been called on the play, and a few parents not happy about that one. And it will be Tauranga ball. What can Tauranga come up with? Noah Martin, the deep jack, can't get it to go, but they keep the ball alive. And a good finish from Kopeta. And Elias Lepo, great drive and kick, great ball movement. Catch and shoot 3 for Usher. And the offensive rebound for David Pereira. Tauranga just can't get the stops they need as the clock winds down. Kaya Berridge. And Landon Monks tried to just go plowing into 3 people. And I think it was a good no call. They were all standing up straight. Tony Webster wasn't happy about it, but they stayed straight up, walled up, and he threw his body into them. And at 3/4 time, we have Waikato A up 72-48.
This
Holiday Park Arena in Tauranga. We have our last quarter about to get underway here. 72-48 to Waikato A. What do Tauranga have here? Do they have some different pressure they can put on Waikato, try and generate some turnover, see if they can eke their way back into the game? They almost get a turnover straight away. I believe Oliver Taylor has lost the headband. That is the big story to start the quarter here. He's taken off the yellow headband and immediately gets scored on. I don't know if that's causation or correlation. It seems like a bit of a coincidence if you ask me. I want to get that headband back on ASAP. So what do Tauranga have here? Down 26 points, season on the brink here, and turnover. Asher Robson can't get that to drop. Kai Berridge looks to push in transition. Great ball movement there from Ian Pugh. And Kupita, the tough drive in the reverse. Finishes on the other side. Great finish, great drive, baseline drive from that man. Yes. Sorry about that interruption. We're back now, and Elias Lepo hobbles off, potentially to get himself another headband. I would deem him worthy of doubling up the headband there. He's been awesome this game. And another turnover from Tauranga. 25-point lead to Waikato A, and the all Waikato final is looking like it's on the cards. Again, for those of you who've just tuned in, Waikato C, a bottom age team from Waikato. That means under 14 age group players have managed to go on a bit of a Cinderella run to the final. And wouldn't that be an interesting quirk of a matchup to play their A team in the national final, regardless of the score on that one? The boys from that Waikato C team will be very well set up to play, to have a really great season next year when they are top age in this age group once again. And Tauranga keep giving the ball to Waikato A, and that's not going to help them come back. Pugh almost gets the ball back. He has not quit this whole game. He has a bright future in the game, that kid. Great drive from Kalis, great kick, great extra pass. Great drive, great kick. Someone needs to shoot eventually. They created an advantage, they couldn't quite capitalize on it. Desmond with the three. Should be a shot clock violation, as it did not hit the rim, and that will be Tauranga ball. Tauranga again, give it up. Can't handle the pressure that Waikato have been able to exert on them in this game. And A really nice finish from Cassius Farmer. They managed to just get the ball over half court. Another turnover for Tauranga. And a simple layup down the other end for Kalis Portoko. And the lead is out to 29. And an M1 there for Kopeta. He hasn't quit. And to be fair to all the Tauranga boys, they have not quit at any stage in this game. They've kept going. It just hasn't really been, their night. And to my neutralise, Waikato A look to be the more talented team. .26 points the lead now after that and one. Desmond, big fella, showing off the inside-outside game. Tauranga will keep pushing. And a three there from Kupita. Can't get it to go, and Waikato A come up with the ball. They probably want to be a bit more patient in transition here. No need for them to be taking early shots now. And a great drive from Tia Kortai. Again, he's coming off the bench, and he would be a star player on virtually every other team at this tournament. And a nice strong drive there from Hohepa Chandler. Draws the foul. Tony Webster imploring the referee for a travel call, a turnover. Kai Berridge looks to push the ball in transition. Nice little pass inside and a good finish there from Hohepa Chandler. Really the only way Waikato A could surpass this dominant performance would be if they all decided to rock the Elias Lepo / Rafael Nadal headband look. It's really the only conceivable way this performance could have been more dominant as Tia Kortai hits the shot clock buzzer beating mid-range shot. And the season's drifting away from Tauranga here. And it'll be a tough feeling for those boys. Again, they've worked hard all year for this opportunity. Try and win a national title with their brothers, and the moment has passed them by this time, and it'll be hitting them all now as they sit on those bench players. It'll be hitting them as they starts to dawn on them that the lead is insurmountable. And again, they haven't quit at any point. And a nice little post move from Hohepa Chandler. Get that man a headband. Again, Waikato being nice and calm here, using plenty of shot clock. Tauranga starting to let a lot of their frustration out on the referees, claiming that was a double dribble, which it of course was not. And it can be a bit of a thing to fall back on as a coach when you're a bit frustrated and you run out of ideas to try and blame the referee for all of your problems in life. I know I've done it before. God knows I've done it before. Shout out Jack Gulliver. Kaya Berridge for three. Does not go in the hoop. So as the result is now well in hand, we can look ahead to that final tomorrow, the all Waikato final, which will be a very fascinating game. There are people around who I've had a chat to around the stadium today who believe that Waikato C can give Waikato A a run for their money. That would be very interesting to see, and I can't recall a second team or even a third team in Waikato C's instance that could win a national title. I mean, if they were to win it, it would be one of the great feats of New Zealand youth basketball. As Noah Martin comes off probably for the last time in this game, and he'll be really disappointed that he wasn't able to bring his team back in the game. Teo Kotai, it's for the three again. Dunk this. And one! Kapita, he has not quit the whole game. The bigs for Tauranga as well have been really impressive. They've kept grinding, they've kept pushing. The harsh reality of it is that Waikato is a better team across the board at every position, and it'll be a really disappointing realization that they might be coming to right now. They may feel as though they could have given a better challenge and a better account of themselves, but for my money, Waikato have been the much stronger team. Oh, the shake and bake, Kupita. Yeah, so Waikato have been the stronger team, and they are thoroughly deserving of this comfortable winning margin. And looks like Coach Tony Webster will look to get some of the younger players in off the bench, potentially some of the bottom age players, to give them a little bit of experience in a game of this nature. If they are to get back to this game next year, it would be really handy experience for them. And some disappointed faces on some of those boys there. But they can be proud of themselves. They've kept pushing, they've kept trying the whole game, and they won't really want to hear that. They're competitors, they would have wanted to win, but big fella Tokorehi Jeffries jacks the three, can't get that to go. Give me one. Kapita can't get the three to drop. Elias Lepo, great pass to Jeffries. But again, they wisely use some clock. Lead at 19 points now. And Tia Kotai breezes his way to the rim. So 1 minute 10 remaining, and Kapita manages to draw the foul. Before Isaac Morgan took a bit of a shot there. He looks to be in a bit of pain, but this is his chance to get some minutes in a national semi-final. I'm sure he won't be asking out of this game by any stretch of the imagination. Peter gets that to drop, and it's now 85-66, almost a minute. We just tick under a minute remaining. 59 seconds on the clock now. Waikato will keep draining the clock, and they're now in the... Tony Webster asking for a carried ball or something. It does not matter. You are losing. The game is over. Tony Webster making some spurious claims about why he hasn't been getting referee calls. And Tia Kotai knocks down another three. Again, he is a sixth man for this team and would be a star player on every other team at this tournament. That's the depth that they're dealing with. Sorry, the score is 90-66 to Waikato A.
Couldn't even see it.
Camille Wagner can't get that free throw to drop, and you'd imagine Waikato A up 90-66 with 10 seconds on the clock will just hold it and not put up a shot. They put up a shot as I say that. 8 then. And Tauranga dribble out the clock, and there we have it. Waikato A have set up an all Waikato final tomorrow versus Waikato C. Make sure you check back for that on the live stream, as well as our other playoff games, the girls and boys third and fourth playoffs, as well as the girls and boys final tomorrow. It'll be a great day of basketball down at Trust Power Arena, and we look forward to seeing you there.